Hi, I'm Chris Heaslip, the chairman and co-founder of Leadr. There's a quote that I discovered on my journey of leadership, and that's that you don't build an organization, you build people, and people will help you build the organization. Many organizations seek to solve this problem by hiring in leaders from the outside. I know that I've tried to do that, but the problem is that slow, expensive, and often those leaders just aren't great culture fits. They come in with a lot of really bad habits. Because of this, really great organizations develop leaders. They don't hire them. I'm not saying that developing leaders is easy, nor is it a fit in every role. But when I look back on what I'm most proud of in my time as a leader, it's the people that I developed along the way. Think about the things that you remember most fondly. It's the times when people showed faith in you, took a chance in you, believed in you, and took the time to invest in you. Those interactions with people are going to be what we remember. Leadership then is a privilege and an honor. It's something we have to take very seriously. We owe it to the people who work for us to steward that responsibility carefully. Not to just go through the motions, put in the time, and get distracted by the urgent, but rather to invest in our teams like we would want someone to invest in us if the roles were reversed. Investing and growing our people isn't part of our job of leaders. It is the job of a leader. At the end of the day, projects and execution can oftentimes take priority over coaching our staff. And that's why we believe so strongly in Leadr. We've created a platform that empowers managers with the tools they need to go from busy, inconsistent, and disconnected to prepared and effective coaches who develop leaders at all levels of the organization. In short, Leadr is a new kind of people management software which enables one-to-one leadership development at scale. We do this by coming alongside existing management activities like the one-to-one meeting and making them more effective, more personalized, more collaborative, and more trackable. This leads to real people development, all managed in one simple and easy to use place. Our software is based on 5 foundations, which at their core utilize the one-to-one meeting to its fullest potential, allowing you for the first time to get better project outcomes while developing your people. Organizations have a lot of tools and world-class software when it comes to managing projects, but when it comes to developing people, there's nothing. We're out to help your organization bridge these gaps, because when managers are given the tools to act like coaches, employees and teams start to thrive. Leadr is the only people management software that focuses first and foremost on leadership development. We help organizations grow, develop and engage future-ready leaders at every level of the business. This is a very exciting day for us, and we're excited that you're here to share it with us. Today, you will be hearing from a couple of our early customers who each have their own leadership stories to share with us. We'll also have our co-founder and chief customer officer, Matt Strelecki, take us through each of the 5 foundations. We feel so strongly about the importance of these that we made them the focus of the onboarding and implementation plan for every customer who signs with Leadr. Finally, our other co-founder and chief revenue officer, Matt Tresidder, will give us a full walkthrough of the Leadr platform, showing us how we've taken the vision I've just shared with you and how we're turning that into a reality for over 100 organizations. And also, if you're watching this live, make sure to jump on the chat and join the conversation. Thank you so much for being here today. We are really excited to share this with you.
My name's Bonnie Ruth, and I'm the care pastor with Hillsong Dallas, and we are honored to partner with Leadr. So as the care pastor, I have the privilege of leading out our city care team and our volunteer teams, and really making sure pastorally that people are cared for. So if we're gonna be relational, we have to have some sort of strategy and strategic thinking and action items to make sure that we're accomplishing the big picture. But I think that always helps us to better care for people. With Hillsong and Hillsong Dallas specifically, we believe that everyone plays a part. And really we just approach it together. We make sure that we're coming together and we're unified and we're all stewarding the vision forward. My goal is really to just see the team and what they bring to the table and provide opportunity and create a pathway that they get to execute the vision. Yeah, so Leadr's been a huge component. We're a new team together, and so it's really been a prime opportunity for us to make sure that we are running in the same direction. We've implemented Leadr quite quickly, and it allows us to be unified. And I think that when you're unified, you actually can accomplish anything. We can put our goals and our vision for what's at hand, whether it be a specific event or maybe our weekly services. We are able to communicate through the platform and stay focused. The other way that I think has been awesome is we've utilized it with our volunteers. And I believe that communication breeds confidence. And the way that we do that with Leadr has been such a key component of making sure that our volunteers and our key leaders are feeling confident on what's needed. I tell everybody this is not a software. This is the key tool that we're gonna have in order to best communicate to each other. So I come at it from a perspective of communication, because I think that sometimes that's the key thing that people always maybe complain about or feel like doesn't happen enough, is like, we don't get the communication. And I feel like this just minimizes that immediately. It allows people to all be on the same page. And so I more approach it from that perspective, that we're not adding something else for you to do or something else for you to use. We're actually empowering you to better communicate.
In our experience, it's been really clear that organizations are made up of great teams. And while each team in an organization will share similarities and a certain amount of cultural DNA, the experiences of employees will vary dramatically from team to team. And more than anything, this is driven by the leader of that team. This is why we say that the number one influencer of team health is the leader of that team. We've got a line we use here at Leadr that goes something like this: beliefs drive habits, and habits, either good or bad, are amplified by tools. It's something we use as a reminder to ourselves that even though we're building software, a tool by itself only amplifies. It doesn't solve. So what does solve for the challenge of improving manager and employee dynamic at the team level? It was that question that led us down this path of interviewing managers and executives across all industries. We had our own experience, of course, to draw from, but also we knew that we needed to learn more. One of the questions that we asked these people was, what development activities are you currently doing right now with your teams? Combining these answers with our own experience that we gathered over the years leading and growing teams led us to our first big aha moment. As we'd heard long lists of activities from executives, we realized that there was absolutely no shortage of effort being applied at all. It was more about the effectiveness of that effort. Digging deeper into the gaps, we started to ask follow-up questions like, how well are these things working? How are you measuring the effectiveness of these efforts? Are each of your managers following the same processes? Do you have a structure or a framework for consistent development across your teams? That information was a game changer because now we knew what the software needed to solve for. It needed to solve for the problem of effectiveness. Bringing everything together in one place, creating a structure and a framework for growth, and being able to demonstrate progress over time. We also knew, on the other hand, that we need to make this as simple as possible, focusing our tool on amplifying the essential activities that lead to growth and team health. So we came up with sort of a manifesto. We call it the 5 foundations, and it forms the core of our software and the implementation strategy. First, we believe the one-on-one meeting is the single most important activity a manager can engage in with their employees in order to influence team health. The very best managers use these meetings to act and think like coaches, to act and think like mentors and teachers. Even if nothing else changes except for an upgrade in your one-to-one practice, your organization will see a dramatic shift. Every single employee should have a one-on-one meeting with their manager at least bi-weekly. Second, we believe people are unique. Unique strengths, unique personality, unique aspirations, and development efforts are most effective when done one-to-one at scale. Every employee should understand and be recognized for their unique strengths. Third, we believe that clarity is one of the most important characteristics of high-performing teams, and that the best way to achieve clarity is by setting goals. Every employee should have clearly defined goals that are compelling, that are relevant, and that are transparent. Fourth, we believe healthy feedback helps us to grow. The healthiest feedback is specific, it's timely, it's candid, it's meaningful, and it's ongoing rather than just being delivered a couple times a year, every once in a while. Unfortunately, this type of feedback is rare. As Gallup has found, only 26% of employees strongly agree that the feedback they receive helps them do better work. Every employee should receive frequent feedback from their manager. And then fifth, we believe that development activities should be continuous rather than static, and that performance reviews are most effective when they serve as a milestone collection of these activities along with a chance to reflect and articulate key learnings. Reviews of this type are less about numbers on a scale, and they're more about personalized career development. Every employee should have a personalized growth and development plan. These are our 5 foundations, and they form the core of our software and our implementation strategy. When an organization signs on with Leadr, we assign them a personal customer success manager who will methodically and strategically roll out these practices with each level of your team. Starting first, of course, with the executives, we take a top-down model, then to the managers, and then finally to the frontline staff. Not just calling out what to do, but calling out why we're doing it, making sure every single employee catches that vision. When you practice these 5 habits, whether you use software or not, you'll experience an increase in organizational health. Your teams will grow, your people will engage, and you'll see lasting and powerful cultural transformation. Software simply makes it easier for you. Remember, software can't develop people, not on its own at least, but it can provide you with the structure, the framework, and the consistency needed to build lasting habits, to change your culture, and to inspire teams at every level of your organization.
My name is Andy, and I'm Senior Executive Pastor at Frisco Bible Church in Frisco, Texas. And we chose to partner with Leadr to develop our staff through its wonderful tool. I've used Trello for different projects, but never saw that as a people development tool. So this was really unique. Leadr was really unique. So my communications director isn't the most organized of people. It's really been good for us, and I pulled him in at the very beginning, and he was my beta on this, and had him start using that, and he's been super responsive to that. Always goes in and checks, puts notes in, so when we get to the meetings, we can really talk about things that are more meaningful than just are these tasks done or not, because we're able to kind of communicate and connect just through Leadr before that, which I think is very helpful, because then our time together is really much more meaningful. We can dive deeper into different areas that need that, and just cover the stuff that doesn't need that time beforehand. And so that's been really good. And I think that's helped him get a little more structured in his work and his planning and his output, to be able to kind of have that all in one place, to be able to, when I have thoughts of, hey, we need to cover this in a meeting, just to be able to pull that up on my computer, on my phone, dump that note in there so it's not lost on a sticky note somewhere or in a notebook somewhere, to be able to go back and look over at past meetings, kind of things that we discussed. If you're not prepared for your meeting with knowing where you want to go and what you want to cover and doing all that, that can be a waste of time for them as well, and not a good example for them and the people that they lead as well. So yeah, it's a great organizational tool for me that I found. It's different than your project management tools. It's more of, I think you really focus on the development of the person as well. you can talk about your projects and updates and tasks and do all those things as well. But I think there's the development of the person that's built into this that I really like and encourage others to check out.
Hey, I'm Matt. It's really great to meet you. And today I'm excited to show you how do we make those 5 foundations into a reality. Let's think about the first one, the one-on-ones. How do we make one-on-ones so simple, so effective that they're happening on a consistent basis? Number 2, how do we do a good job of drawing out people's unique strengths and identifying the things that they're best at so that those are front and center in every conversation? Number 3, instead of waiting for that annual review, let's have ongoing coaching and training throughout the year and then memorialize it in some of those training sessions. We've got documenting our goals so that everyone has clarity what's most important for right now. And then 5 is customized growth and development plans. So let's talk about how do we make some of those things into a reality, how have we been using it internally in our teams, and also some of the ways that our customers have been using it. All right, let's dive in. You know, we believe that the single most important activity that a manager can engage in with their team is the weekly one-to-one meeting. The one-to-one really is at the heart of the software. And this is what you're seeing here. It's a list of my upcoming meetings for today, tomorrow, and throughout the week. The most effective one-to-ones have these 4 things in common: prepared, collaborative, structured, and documented. Leadr allows managers and their team members to collaboratively add topics throughout the week. And it also documents each topic and the tasks related to those, making sure that action items don't slip through the cracks each week. Didn't get to a topic that week? No worries. Just add it to next week's meeting agenda automatically. This also applies to group meetings. If you've got weekly all hands, leadership conversations, executive meetings, you can use the same collaborative, documented, structured, and prepared approach with those meetings as well, optimizing your time as a team, not just as individuals. The care card helps you to get to know your team members on a deeper level, and really it's a daily reminder of their unique strengths and personality types. How about bringing your team's favorite snack or coffee to the next one-on-one? Or how about sending them a gift on their birthday? Sometimes it's the small things that can have the biggest impact. Another one of our 5 foundations is that we believe that every employee should have clearly documented goals. And by keeping these front and center during the one-on-one, you ensure that the projects stay on track and each of your team members are working on the most important priorities at any given time. Regular feedback is critical to leadership development. Rather than giving feedback in passing or surprising someone with it unexpectedly or waiting for the 12-month review, we believe that giving the opportunity to take a moment and respond in a thoughtful way is the best way for the feedback to be received. Once the feedback has been shared, Leadr's going to drop that into your next meeting agenda. This gives managers and the employees the chance to really discuss and digest the feedback and to make sure that they're both on the same page before moving on to the next item. Learning is a place where managers can send out content, ask specific application questions, and track the status of the assignment. Once you've got the response, I can tell, did people watch it? Did they listen to it? Did they read the content that I sent over? And then I can add their answers into a future meeting. And then finally is people metrics. We all ask the question, is this thing going to work? Is it going to be effective? How do I know if my people are buying in? People metrics provides you with a traffic light dashboard to help you to understand, are my people actually getting value out of Leadr? Are they prioritizing their one-on-ones? Have they requested feedback? Have they set up their goals? And are they logging in on a consistent basis? So executives will have this view for everybody in the organization, not just their downlines. So what will you be able to accomplish when every single one of your employees is both engaged and growing?
My name's Bobby Bogard, and I am the founder of Bogard Group Ministries. We've been in ministry about 45 years, and we love to help leaders and churches succeed. When I sat down across the table from Matt Strelecki and Matt Tresidder and heard what Leadr was bringing to the table, the thing that excited me right off the bat was the process that would enable a one-on-one relational philosophy to be pushed down through the organization. In my experience, I really didn't step into relational one-on-one leadership until I got to an organization called Gateway Church. And we had a philosophy of relational oversight. The process of that, though, we didn't have any undergirding systematic process to help us walk that out throughout the culture. I think there's a dynamic tension that gets created as organizations grow, churches grow, companies grow. Your best assets are the ones that you raise up from within because they inherently bring the culture with them. We don't have clear-cut processes for leadership development. We say that we do, but it all tends to be in a very one-way direction. In other words, we're going to have a class and we're going to teach on leadership, and we're going to assume that you stepped into that class and you got the information and now you're a leader. That path doesn't work. In some of the churches that we work with that have a one-on-one relational context, a lot of times they step into that environment from a task management perspective, which you've got to have that as a part of the oversight because we've got to get things done, right? But when we move into the relational aspect, then we're able to not only get things done, but we are able to facilitate how things are getting done. And what this provides is it provides a systematic accountability so that all those alignments come into play and everybody's on the same page going forward. I think the most important thing that we can do as a leader is to find the giftings and talents that are around us and empower them with vision and empower them with authority to accomplish things. Here's an opportunity for you not only to have great team meetings, one-on-one meetings, have your agenda items, have your action items, have your goals all in one place, but then you have the opportunity to lead, coach, and mentor because of the platform of leadership development.
Well, that's Leadr. As we think about, why did Leadr start in the first place? I was thinking about me and the world that I was in, and I was thinking, I didn't do a good job when my team grew and as we expanded. I wished I had something like this to equip me to just be a more effective leader. So think about the people in your organizations, think about the people in your teams. How can we do a good job of equipping them with a framework that allows them to be more effective at developing the people?